Hey guys, what is up? The NeoCubist here. Welcome to my advanced underwater house tutorial. So this is a very simple underwater house to build, although it's advanced in what it has. So for example, we have a full bedroom over here. We have a nice little crafting table with some trapdoors. It looks kind of nice, like a little table show-off area. Over here we have a nice little brewing station, which is cool. Got some brewing stands, cauldron, even a hidden chest under here, as well as a crafting table sort of hidden, and then a hanging chest up here, which is cool. Over here we have some armor stands and stuff. And then walking into here, we have a nice little blue orchid, since it's one of my builds. And then down here, we have a very, very beautiful mine. Pretty cool. So if you wanted to come down here and mine in your underwater base, you can do so with my mine design. Let's come back up. And these trapdoors do act like a ladder now if they're flush, which is cool. Let's go to the second floor. We got 3 total floors in this build. It's a pretty big build. We have a nice little chest area over here. Some more brewing stuff, just if you want to grow some more netherwort or grow some potatoes or something. I don't know, whatever you want to do. And we have a full 30 level enchantment table over here. Looks very beautiful, very cool. And then up on top we have a full chest room, which is super cool. We got the grindstone hanging from the ceiling, a nice stone cutter, some barrel storage over here. But yeah, if you guys want to learn how to build this entire thing block by block, step by step, stick around for the build tutorial. And yeah, it's a pretty cool build. Let me go to the outside here. I do also show how to get up and down from the build. What I chose to do is just build a little bit of a dock on top that you can just swim to, and then you can go right down the ladder into your base. Just like that. And then I also have a door to the outside if for some reason you want to go to the outside. Now the outside of the base is a basic square. It's not that fancy, but it does look pretty cool just because of all the stuff inside. So yeah, if you guys want to learn how to build it, stick around and let's get started. Alright, so keep in mind for this underwater base, you're going to need a way to get up and down from it, of course. So I'd find somewhere near to the shore, somewhere. It doesn't have to be super close or anything. But what I would do is to get up and down, so find where you want to build your base. This flat area looks nice to me. So we're going to build this up all the way to the top of the water. There's no real dimensions for this, but you want to build it to the very top of the water. You don't need to extend one out. Now this is going to take a good bit of glass, but what you want to do is just place glass blocks along that pillar of whatever material you chose to dig up. I'm just using the frame material that I used for the main base, so stone brick, and then just some clear normal glass. And yeah, I really love these sounds underwater now. They really do sound good. It's so much more immersive than how it was before, where there just wasn't really anything special about it. But we have this little platform built out now. Now if you want to, you can make a nice little dock around it. It really doesn't matter. I'm not going to spend a whole ton of time finishing out this little dock thingy, but basically just make a little platform so you have somewhere to land onto, and then you have a really cool entrance. So we want to go in here, and with a simple material like sand or gravel, use either, or you just want to stand at the top and place these until they reach the very bottom. So let me do that. Alright, so you don't even have to move, you just have to have, however much sand you need. Then you want to break it all the way down. Obviously in survival it'd be a little slower, but you come down to here and you could just build your ladder straight up like this, and you have an entrance to your underwater base. So that's the very most simple entrance you can do. I don't think there's an easier way to do it, although you may have an easier way like digging underground and then building a tunnel to it, but I've always liked that way. I think it's pretty simple. So we're going to start off by building the house now. Keep in mind that's just the entrance to the base. So what I like to do is just sort of pillar off of it like this and just make a little like pathway like that. And then we're going to just connect it to the house at some point. You can go ahead and break these blocks. Now keep in mind that there's going to be some water in here, so you may want to fill it up with just something for now. Just plug it up like that. So I'm going to plug it up just because I'm trying to show how you build this in survival. So I'm going to build the actual house now. Now the actual home is not that big. It's somewhat big, but it's not super huge. But keep in mind, if it's sort of an advanced ultimate underwater base, it's going to need to be somewhat large, right? So you're going to have to go down here. You're going to have to clear out some gravel, obviously, and then run in here at some points and catch your breath. Finally. Okay, but I'm in creative. I don't have to do that. So I'm going to skip that step because that's not the fun part. The fun part is doing the build. So let me clear out a little bit of this area. Okay, so I'm going to be going with this more square shape, and we're going to start off with just one stone pillar, and we're going to build this up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11. Now the reason I chose 11 is that this will be one floor, and then this will be the divider. This will be one floor, and then this will be the divider, and this will be one floor, and then I guess technically it needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I do it 12 instead of 11, so I do apologize about that, just so that you get 3 full stories. And now I'm going to break these. We don't really need these right now, but you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then on that 9th block, you want to place another 12 high pillar. So let me just count it to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, so we are right. And then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And on that 12th block, you want to do another one of those 12 high pillars. And then, of course, the last one is just going to be in line with these, so you don't really need to count it. Excuse me. You don't really need to count it. A good way to see if it's leveled out with this thing right here, so it should be on that same level. And then you want to just build it up to be a total of 12 high too. So we're going to connect these at the top. It's just going to be a very simple frame to build, but it is going to be a survival underwater build that's pretty easy to do. It's definitely not hard to accomplish, I wouldn't say. You're going to need a ton of gravel and a ton of sand. I'm not going to give exact amounts. I don't like to. I just feel like I always mess it up. But you're probably going to need a couple stacks of sand and or a couple stacks of gravel. And the only reason for that is that, well, you're going to have to tear or remove all the water in here. If you have a sponge because you've killed a guardian, you know, obviously use that. But sand or gravel also works. So count 1, 2, 3 from the top. It's better to start at the bottom. I would actually recommend framing the bottom like this, just because if you don't, you might get a little confused as to where the floors go. But essentially your first floor is going to be, and then we'll just leave this like that. And then if you wanted to sort of carry that pattern, you can always do the bottom block as the material you were choosing. Sorry, I just could not clear my throat on camera again. I know it's kind of loud. But you see what I mean? I sort of carried that bottom floor material all the way around to our glass tube, and it makes it look like part of the structure, which is what we're going for. So again, we have this bottom part done, which is absolutely perfect. How much night vision do I have left? Check this out. I'm going to get another night vision. We're going to drink it real quick. Dope. Okay, so we built that bottom part. Now keep in mind that this is going to be the bottom floor right here, and then we're going to need a 3 high ceiling. So if we go ahead and just start putting stone brick right here, we'll accomplish just that. So again, a 1, 2, 3 high ceiling like this. So you want to count up 1, 2, and then on that third block from this little platform, you want to just start to build out your first platform. Now, I guess your first platform's down there, but either way, you're going to need to build this out. Now, you see how I'm building it with full blocks. A better way to go about that would be to take some slabs. It would also save you a little bit of space. You could just take slabs in here and place these as your second floor. It'd make your build feel a little bit bigger, actually, which is probably a good thing since we're underwater, and we want it to feel pretty big if it's going to be an in-game base. But you want to go up another 1, 2, 3, and then on that fourth block, you want to place another layer, and then as you can see, they should all be even with a 3-block space in between. That's ideal, I think, for builds, just so that your head doesn't feel super cramped when you're walking around in them. When it's too high, it just feels cramped, so I wouldn't do anything about that. 4 high is just too much, but 3 is perfect. That's what I typically go for. So on all these platforms, we've built out where the floors are going to be. All you have to do is by hand place all these slabs in here. Now keep in mind, it is going to be kind of hard. You're going to have to run down there a bunch to breathe, but that's the cool part about building underwater. It's not as easy as like building when you're on the normal above water stuff. I can't think of it. When you're on land, it's obviously easier to build, so it's kind of a challenge to build under here, and I think that's what makes these builds feel more special than your typical build, just because, you know, you spent blood, sweat, and tears trying to build them, I guess. But we'll make it look better on the outside, obviously not just a big old box, but for now we're just gonna leave it like a box. Some of you may want to leave it as a box, and that's fine. I really wouldn't judge you, because it's definitely hard to do this. Okay, so now we're going to take our glass. Now keep in mind, my glass will connect in textures just because I have Optifine installed. So Optifine's a lighting mod for a lighting and rendering mod for Minecraft on PC or Java. So you can't get it if you're on console, but it doesn't really matter. Your build will still look fine, even if the glass textures aren't connected. I promise. But you want to build this, and you want to leave this area open right here, but you want to connect it, that way you can sort of go into there just fine. And throughout this whole build, we're just going to add the glass. Now we do keep in mind we are going to need a way to get up and down. I'd recommend stairs out of cobblestone, just some contrasting material. Now, for now, I just break the corners out like this, just so that you can get up and down by floating in the water. And I'm just going to fill in all the windows with glass like this. So keep in mind that all the windows are just going to be filled in. It's pretty simple. I'm not going to show it on camera, but I'm going to fill them in all the way around on the next 2 floors. And then on the very top of this base, I'd also recommend putting in glass, but what I would do is build the frame in to be 1 wider so that you don't have glass connecting. What I mean is when you build it like this, it looks weird because the glass is connecting. Obviously that water isn't there. That's just making it look the most weird, but if it was all just air, trust me, it wouldn't look as good. So you want to make this to be 2 wide instead of just a 1 lip and then glass, so 2 and then glass. And then when you fill in the top, it'll look a lot better from the inside because there will be like a little buffer of stone brick, and it won't just go straight into glass. And obviously this is just a box, so it's not going to be super fancy, but I can add a few of my tricks to it just to make it a little bit better. So let's get inside of it. Obviously, you'd want to come in with a bunch of stacks of sand, like I mean an absolute ton. And what I would do is come all the way down here, slowly. This is anticlimactic. Okay. And you'd want to float into here, and then you just want to start putting sand. Now, I know it seems like that would take absolutely forever, and I agree, but all you're going to have to do is just put a bunch of sand in here like this. And yeah, it's going to take a while, but it's going to be your very own underwater base, and you just want to fill it in all like that, and then eventually you'll fill in like a whole floor, you'll plug that block, and then break it, and then you'll end up with a build with no water in it, only air. So now that I'm in creative, I'm not going to do that because that just takes forever. So I'm just going to take good old handy dandy sponge, not the wet sponge, just the normal one, and then we're just going to put it in here and soak up all the water just like this. Now keep in mind that these half slabs may hold a little bit of water. To deal with that, you may just want to turn them into full blocks. I know this is insanely loud, but check this out. Look, all the water is pretty much gone. Okay, and then we're going to go up here and we're going to do the last and final step just like this. Cool. Pretty awesome, right? Now, the top is going to drip in water. I don't 100%... Oh, whoops. I don't 100%... Wait, what just happened when I broke that? Oh, I don't know. I don't 100% understand why water still drips in here, seeing as how we have like our very own glass ceiling, but it's something you have to deal with when living underwater. I thought you could prevent it via something, but you really can't. Alright, so we've broken all the sponge, we got 3 floors to work with, let's get started. So, what I would recommend doing, now that you've got all the air in your base, is just doing a floor material. I'm just going to choose something simple, so oak wood. I'm trying to choose materials everyone has access to on every version of Minecraft, as well as materials that are easy to obtain, and not hard for just survival players, because most of my tutorials are oriented towards survival. I'm not trying to build things exclusively for creative. I think that's kind of a waste of time, because why would you build like a house with all the stuff you need for survival and creative? I don't know, maybe you do, no judgments, but the majority of my people are playing survival and they want to see survival tutorials. Alright, so the next thing, I would take some stairs that contrast both your framing material as well as your floor, and I think our night vision is about to run out, and that's honestly okay. I don't have shaders on, obviously, because we're on good old-fashioned well, we're underwater, so it's too dark in here with anything else. On the inside, I guess technically I could have it, but you're gonna need some place for some torches. Now the cool thing is we do have lanterns now, which make it a whole lot... I did not spell that right, which makes it a whole lot easier. So for example, in your corner, you put a slab down and then a lantern, and then you can go ahead and do that on every corner. Keep in mind that won't be enough light, but what you could do is, as you need more spaces for light, all you gotta do is, like for instance in here, there's no middle, but there is a middle of 2 blocks. Oh, maybe there is a middle. Wait, 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So there is a middle on this side. That's actually really nice. And then you want to find the middle over here as well, and you can do some lanterns like that, but keep in mind I don't think there's a middle right here, so you'd have to do 2 lanterns, and it doesn't look bad or anything, but if you want to do your lighting in a different way, that's completely fine, whether it be torches, glowstone, doesn't really matter. But you're gonna have to remove these anyways, because we're gonna be putting our stairs here. So we're gonna count off the stairs. We're gonna start right here, and we're just gonna put 1 2 3, and then we're gonna break all this, and then 4. And that leads you to the next room, and then we're gonna do the same thing over here. So we're gonna start off, we're gonna go 1 2 3, and then break all this stuff, and then 4, and that leads you up to the next floor. So now we have access to the 3rd floor, 2nd floor, as well as the 1st floor, all via stairs. What I would recommend doing is, under the stairs you can do a bunch of cool stuff, right? So either you can make your stairs just look like this, which is good. I wouldn't recommend just doing that, almost because it wastes a little bit of space. I like doing furnaces under the stairs. Some people don't, and that's okay, but I'm gonna put furnaces on the 1st floor under the stairs, and then maybe you guys want to do it like that on the 2nd floor. I don't really know. It's honestly up to you. Whatever you want to do is probably going to be the best. I would recommend bringing those down. It makes it look a little bit more solid, a little bit more steady. Now when you're in here, if you're worried about if you're gonna fall into this all the time, you can go ahead and just put fence. It's really not a big deal. I'm not gonna do it on my builds, but you could just put fence there if you're worried about people falling into your fences, or into your stairwells, but you know what, we'll go ahead and do it. It doesn't look bad or anything, and it may just make this look a little bit better. So something like that's cool. Now keep in mind you can't keep away that drip, but that's only on the top floor. So the top floor I'm going to do something that we're not in there a whole bunch for, like just chest storage or something. You may have to bring those down as well, so keep that in mind. And then we don't need this corner block broken out. Okay, so let's get started designing the inside of this. So we have lighting on this floor, which is fine. We may want to change how it is. It really doesn't matter. I just put those lanterns there mainly for recording purposes, but let's get to designing the first floor of our underwater base. Now there's a bunch of ways you can do this. You could cut the room in half and have 2 separate rooms, but I'm gonna leave it all open. Also, if you're scared about creepy crawlies or whatnot, you can always build a little bit of a door right here. I'd recess it 1 block inward just so that you know you're safe from everything outside. I'm gonna choose to put my bed over on this wall right here. So we're gonna put it 2 blocks away from the side, and we're gonna put the bed right there. We're gonna put a chest there for storage. We're gonna do a chest and an ender chest combo actually. And then, you know, we had leaves. Oh yeah, they're right here. So you may want to take some leaves and maybe you want to divide this area out like that. That's perfectly fine. That can make your bed look a little better. You can even recess your bed like this and then put the ender chest on top of that. Everything still opens just perfectly. And then maybe you want to break this because you don't like that lamp hanging down, and that's fine. It really doesn't matter. You could put the lamp right here instead. See? Looks just fine to me. We're going to take some trapdoors and we're going to hang something from the ceiling. I think we're going to hang that ender chest. So we're going to go ahead and grab that and take it away. And then we're going to put some trapdoors right here. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get this one right here, but you want to make them in a shape like this. Put a slab on top and then put your ender chest in there. And that won't really open, so what you want to do is actually take a stair, my bad guys, and you want to put the stair right there, and then the slab. This will open, it'll look like a nice little hanging chest, looks pretty cool. So we got the little bedroom area divvied out, something like that, and then you could even take a few blocks of carpet, maybe some white and some cyan carpet just to sort of match, and do something like that, and you could do a little checkerboard pattern. I don't know, whatever you dig, and I think that looks pretty cool. So we got a nice little bedroom area, and maybe extend that one out. See, so we've already divided the room up and it looks nice. We're going to put a crafting table right here, and then on top of that we're going to put a pot, and we're going to put, you know what, we'll do a blue orchid just because it's one of my builds, and that's something I like to do for my builds, is just put a blue orchid in a pot. Pretty cool. Now over here in the corner, I was thinking that since this area is just sort of unused and we could put a bunch of stuff in it, we could just put some glowstone, like for instance right here. Now the only issue with putting glowstone, actually, you know what, we'll just put it right there. I don't know what I was thinking. Let's go ahead and make these full blocks just so they fit a little bit better. And then under it, we're going to put some soul sand. Now keep in mind, I'm not going to use this as my full growery, so maybe what we want to do is, well, we'll just put soul sand here for now. Now I recommend on these little growery areas to use oak trapdoors, and then I recommend spruce for framing, but you don't have to do that again. It really is optional. You want to take nether wart, and we can put that onto the soul sand and have an area to grow it. Now I'm going to put a cauldron under here, and ironically we're going to fill it with water since you can't really go outside. I mean, you can go outside. If you wanted to have an area to go outside, break this like this, put a door, and then you can basically go inside and out if you want to. Oh my gosh. Just like this. Now you may or may not want to have that. That's okay. It really is up to you, but you can have a door to the outside world if you really feel so inclined to do so. You could do it like that. So we're going to put this right here, and then we're going to put a stair and a stair, and we're going to connect them inward like this, if I can get the block placements right. So like that. And then we're going to take some brewing stands, and we're just going to put those there and there. We're going to take another one of those stairs that's made of the same floor material, and we're just going to inwards in here. We're just going to break this, and then we're going to hang a chest from it. And we're going to put brewing materials in here, or finished potions, really up to you. And the cool thing is it'll fit right here just perfect. You don't have to do any modifications or anything. It just fits just like that, which is awesome. You can open it up. And even if you wanted to, you could hide a chest down here. Why you choose to do so, I don't know, but I'm not one to judge. So if you want to hide a chest down here because you're hiding it from someone, go ahead and you can access it just like that. Nice little hidden chest arrangement, which is cool. So over here on this wall, it's kind of blank and we don't really have anything. Something you could do is just put like a bunch of crafting tables like this. And then for instance, you could slap a painting down like that. Maybe just have 2 crafting tables. And then take some pots, and then on top of those, put in some of your favorite flowers or plants or whatever. They don't have to be flowers, so if you want to do like an acacia sapling and like a cactus, those always go really well together. Sort of a similar palette, looks pretty cool. Awesome. And then if you wanted to, you could always frame these with a little bit of trapdoors like that. And I don't know, it just looks like a nice little table in the corner. And obviously there's a bunch of space in here that's not filled, so we're gonna have to do that. So another way to fill space is, for instance, take an armor stand or something, and let's put it over here on this wall because it's kind of blank, and we'll put like an armor stand and then maybe another armor stand, and then we'll go ahead and fill those in with like, and if they're just aesthetic, I like to just fill them in with like iron armor. It depends on what stage you are in your survival world. If you're not at a point where you can afford to just waste iron armor on things that look good, don't do it. Use leather or something like that. But these armor combinations always look good, and what I like to do is just put like a bunch of random materials as the actual, like, you see what I'm saying. Just use randomized stuff, and I don't know, they look pretty cool. And then what you can do is on top of them take some item frames, and on top of those, just like this, you could just take item frames and put in, like, for instance, your favorite swords. So let's say you killed the Ender Dragon with this and you want to memorialize it, you could do something like that. You can also right click them, or I don't know how to do it on Pocket Edition, but you can make them look more, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? You can make them like face inward. I don't know what word I'm trying to look for. I'm not really sure. Another thing you can do is you can use scaffolding if you have access to it, and you can make some nice little tables. And for instance, you could take an item frame, and you could take a map. And if you have maps of your world you want to use, I'm just going to use 2 just maps at the same spot just for time's sake, because I don't want to travel around and get 2 different maps. It looks like you can't do what I was trying to do, so you could just take some stairs. It really doesn't matter. And then put the item frames on those, and then right click, and it looks like we're just in the ocean right here. That's okay, but it gives you a map of the area. You can go over here, plan out your next attack or something, right? Okay, so that's a good bit of stuff for this floor. I'm trying to think what else we could add, so give me a second. Now I guess I love how I didn't clear my throat before I unpause. I don't know why I'm having to clear my throat so much, no idea. But if you wanted to divide this room up a little bit more, you can do something like this, and you can just make your room feel a little bit more divided. So I just added some blocks like this. You can see just 4 of them with the 2s extended up, and we don't actually have to add anything more to this room. It's already pretty busy. But the funny thing was we couldn't really see it because it wasn't divided out. But now that it's divided out, you can see it looks a lot better. You can even put some trapdoors up here to make it feel even more divided. And yeah, you get something pretty cool out of the mix. You could even put trapdoors here and then have this one go up. You can really go crazy with it and make it feel as divided as you want. I feel like this is enough division in here. So I'm going to skip this floor since we're done with it, and we're going to go on to the second floor. So obviously, since this is an end game sort of like end game base, I guess, I'm going to choose to put an enchantment table in here just because you're going to need it. That gives me another idea. If you want to have a mine for this build, for instance, take a ladder like this and take 2 trapdoors, and then you can put them right here and here, have them open up, and you can drill down to your heart's content and make a nice little mine. What I typically like to do in my mines is just drill down like this. I'm not going to change the materials in here just because it's a mine, and I don't really think it matters because you're just digging down here. And I like to just make a little room. So for instance, I'll drill out a room and then give you the dimensions, and then we can add a few things to it. I'm not sure why I hear water flowing. I really don't know why, but I'm sure it's okay. So this is a nice little 4x4 room, just like this. So the cool thing about building a little 4x4 room is you can take stairs now made of smooth stone, which they're down in here. And we can actually have chests on these walls without them looking weird. So we just put right side upstairs in here. So as you can, I'm just breaking these so you can see. We just put right side upstairs in here. Obviously you wouldn't have broken those blocks. And then you could just fill this wall up with chests. So you have some materials you want to mine and you want to put up or something. And then right here we could just start drilling this down, and this can be our staircase to wherever we want to mine to. So you can do a mine something like that. If you wanted to make it look a little better, obviously you could add some logs here and there just to make it look like it's supported, like the mine shaft is. And then periodically as you go down, now keep in mind that's a waste of logs. Like, it's hard to get logs, I get it, but if you want it to look really pretty, that's what I'd recommend doing. Just going up and down like this, and then what I would do in between those logs is place fence just like this and sort of connect it. And the cool thing about that is, I don't know, it just makes it look like a really cool, unique mine shaft. I started doing that on some of my builds, and it absolutely looks fantastic. Take some cobblestone stairs, obviously, and then place those on the floor as you go, because you don't want to be walking up and down blocks. Come on, we're civilized people. What is down here making this water? Okay, can you stop? Can you stop? Okay. So there's a cave down here, which is interesting. Obviously, you won't really have the same world as me, but we'll go ahead and put that there. Cool. So now you have a nice staircase, a nice little mine, and then what I also like to do is just on the little supports, we just put torches like this. And yeah, you got yourself a nice little mine. Obviously, you can put some furnaces down here as well as some blast furnaces. Do, for instance, like a row of 4 blast furnaces, and then the rest is just normal. And then you can put more chests here, more chests here. You can really go crazy with it. And then if you don't like how the material isn't like standardized at all, you could take stone break, which I grabbed a slab, not what I need. Where's the normal block? There we go. Okay. And then you could do a floor material like this. And then if you really wanted to, you could do oak on the walls. But I'm not going to mess with it. I just wanted to have the floor done. But cool. We got a nice little mine. Always good to have a mine. You don't want to ever neglect that. Now keep in mind that this, I'm not sure. Oh, I see. I put the trapdoors one up. You want to put them flush with the ground. And then they'll actually act like the ladder. So see, you can climb all the way out. Close it up. And your room is not any smaller because of it. Okay, so cool. We got the mine done. Let's get the enchantment area done. Let's do it in here. So I have the lantern. I'm going to need to grab that again, though. Hold on. Let me grab all the materials. All right, so I grabbed whatever I think I would add to this area. I'm going to go ahead and just put the lantern down right here, and then we already have a lantern over there. And then I would put 2 lanterns here. I don't know how they feel on the staircase. No, they're not too close. Just make sure everything's centered. And it does look a little funky because it's technically not centered there, so you could put 3 here. It really doesn't matter, or just 2 like this. However you want to do it is perfectly fine. Or, again, just 1 in the center. Either way, I'm going to give you options here. I think that looks the best, though. For me personally, but I don't know. You may not think it looks the best. That's okay. We're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to break. Oh, we don't want to break that. Not that. We're going to break these materials right here. And then we're going to put the stairs. We're going to leave them how they are because they don't actually need to be modified. And then we're going to put a few more down. And then we should actually be at level 30 already. Put your enchantment table 1 block space in between. Let's just check and make sure we're at a full 30, because if not, we'll add a few more. So we need to add, it looks like 2 more, so we'll put 1 here and 1 here, and then look, full 30. Cool. We got Fortune 2, which is useless, but Efficiency 4 and Breaking 3. That's not a bad axe. I just threw it away because we don't really need it, because we're in we're actually in creative. So we're gonna take a pot and we're just going to put them all along this wall right here. Now that'll look really cool because we could just put in a bunch of randomized plants. Let me do that real quick. Something like that can look pretty good in your build. And then we have that enchantment table, which is nice. I'd put the anvil, like, say right here. Maybe put it up on a stair. I don't know. You can do whatever you want, but I feel like that would look pretty good. Obviously that lantern is right next to it, but I don't know. It kind of looks cool. But maybe you just want to put it on the floor. Either way, that's okay. Maybe you want to divide out this area a little bit more. That's also fine. You can do something like this and then put those slabs up on top. And then that gives you another opportunity for maybe a light right here. Pretty cool. Let's take some chests, and we can put those really wherever we want in the build. For example, maybe this area right here feels a little blank and you want to put some chests in it. Perfectly fine. That little area in the corner is obviously, I mean, you can't put anything in there anyways. Do fences connect? No. You could just fill it up with some leaves to make it look better. Something like that, you know. I don't know why, but maybe you want some leaves in there. It really doesn't matter. On top of these, I would recommend putting stairs just so they look a little bit more connected like that. And now you got a little bit of chest storage right here. Obviously, if you want to put like some enchanted book storage or something, you could put it right there. And then what you could do is just take some trapdoors made of spruce, and you could frame this and make it look a lot better. Just like this. Now, better is subjective. You may not like the way it looks when it's framed. That's okay. You don't have to do it. But it makes it look like a nice little framed chest, which is cool. So when we walk in here, there's not a whole lot of stuff, but there is a full enchantment table, which is always nice. Keep in mind, I'm just giving you ideas for what you could add to your interior. Obviously, you can copy me exactly as you see fit. But for example, if you don't like something, you don't have to add it or anything like that. You could do really whatever you want. Oh, that's next level. Oh, that's smart. Okay, so I was going to add a few more blocks of farming because we didn't put very many. We only put 2 down there, and that's not very many. We probably want a good bit more if we're actually seriously farming. So we're going to go ahead and break all this. Not sure what's wrong with my voice. Hopefully it's sorted. I commentate a lot, so I can't have my voice doing that a whole lot, but it's okay. I forgive you for now, voice. We're just going to put 5 blocks of nether wart like this. Obviously, we're going to frame the whole thing. Just like that. So it doesn't make this area feel small or anything, but it does fill up that empty space we had along the wall that there wasn't any sense in adding anything to. You could make some aesthetic things look nice. Like, for example, you could put some stairs in the corner right here, and you could make this into a nice little table. Obviously, you walk right into it, but it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. If you want to make it feel a little bigger, put a painting, maybe that one, a little cooking painting. And then, because we're cooking up the enchantments in here, I don't know. Trying to get hip with the youngins. No, I'm kidding. I'm only 20 years old. I'm not old. People are always like, Neo, you don't understand new culture. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm not that old. But we'll put these things right here, and that looks pretty good. Cool. And then maybe you want to put, well, I wouldn't put a lantern there because you have all this growing and it looks nice. And then, I don't know, maybe you just want to farm it and then slap it down into a chest right here. I don't know, I'm not one to judge, but whatever you want to do is all good with me. Maybe you want to copy over this same sort of material choice, feel free to do that. Now you have a nice little chest. Always run up to the third and final floor. This one looks pretty cool. You got a full enchantment table, got some chest storage and whatnot. Obviously, we don't have a whole ton of furnaces. Did I leave these down here? Yeah, so you do have some furnaces. I realize now there's not very many crafting tables in here. So for example, you could put one right here and you can open it. These are crafting tables you can access, but they're kind of weird. So maybe you want to put, well, we don't really need a crafting table. Oh, there's one right there. Okay. But on this floor, we don't really have any crafting tables, so maybe you want to put the bottom row as crafting tables in here. Perfectly fine. And then I'm trying to think, where else could you fit a crafting table? You could fit one right there if you wanted to. I wouldn't put it there just because it messed with the frame chest. Ah, I see. We'll put a crafting table and then the anvil. Cool. And it honestly looks fine with the light. Don't worry about it. But now we have more crafting tables in here in case you ever need to craft anything. On this floor, I just plan to make this into a giant chest storage area. We have enough furnaces, we have enough of everything else. Obviously, we're going to need some lanterns just for light. It's going to be weird and tricky putting lanterns in here just because, well, it's going to be tricky and you'll see why. But we're going to take some chests and we're just going to make this into a giant chest area. So I'm going to plan out where I want to put my chests. I do it like this. And you can put the chests next to each other now that we're on the newer version of Minecraft. If you can't do that, don't feel bad. It's not that big of a deal. You'll just have to do this a little bit differently with some spaces in between. I'm going to put stairs there. It looks weird from the inside, but from the outside, you literally can't even see the difference, so don't worry about it. And we're just going to fill in all these with chests. Obviously, these all work. You can take item frames, for example, and you could sort them out. I'm not going to do that on camera, but you can just sort them like this, and then you can have, chests for whatever you want. Just something like that can look pretty cool. Now keep in mind, I did say the lighting would be a little bit tricky in here, and unfortunately it is a little bit tricky. There's not a perfect way to do it in here just because of the room we're working with. You could put torches on the ground. I wouldn't recommend it. It can make it look a little weird. If I was gonna do it, I'd make sure to do a pattern like that, but I wouldn't do torches on the ground. So there is a somewhat of a way to do it. You can put lanterns right here and right here, and it gives enough light. It doesn't look bad or anything, so maybe that's what you want to do, and that's perfectly fine. Another option you have in here, since we are at the top floor, is, for example, let's break in somewhere it doesn't matter. Or you know what, we'll just go outside the convenient door we built, which is actually pretty nice. So I know I don't have shaders on, but it's just because I'm underwater and it's super dark otherwise. It does look good without shaders, but it also looks good with them. Everything looks good with shaders. So I was going to say right here in the middle, what you could do is just add these full blocks like this. And I'm trying to get it where it doesn't break those item frames on the bottom. Okay, it didn't. Good. So I'm trying to do it pretty quick like this. But yeah, just build a nice little spine of a stone brick right here. Oh, please don't tell me. Okay. I just wanted to make sure it didn't go down the stairs and like wreck all the stuff that's broken by water. That would be unfortunate. But yeah, let's go up a floor. Let's go up again to this top floor. So now that we have this, for example, you could put a little bit better lighting in here. I don't know, something like that. You could put some lanterns right there. You could also, for instance, put glowstone up in here if you had access to glowstone and it's something you're comfortable with using. Put glowstone like this. Take some trapdoors. Take some trapdoors made out of jungle or anything, any material really, and that'll give you sufficient lighting and it looks good. But if you don't have access to glowstone, don't worry about it, don't fret, it's all good. Over on this wall, we're going to be doing something similar. These lanterns, we can go ahead and put them right here, right up against these item frames. Hopefully it doesn't break the item frame, we'll see if it does. But you want to have a 1 block gap between your chests, and we're just going to fill it up until this point. Obviously that little corner area kind of sucks, but it's something that we need, so we're just going to fill it up with leaves, and it looks okay, looks just fine. I'd put a lantern up in here just because you might need one, and that's in the center. Looks good to me. And then we'll go ahead and we'll fill up all these chests in here. And you have to do the same sort of thing with the stairs. Same thing you did over here, just so that you can open those top chests just like that. So we'll put a stair and a stair, stair, stair. And once you get in the pattern of doing it, it's pretty simple. Make sure always you can open all your stairs. or sorry, opened your chests, and then you know you did the stairs right. So we'll always put the item frames on the left, so we'll do it like this, and then we'll have these be extended, right? So something I would do that for is like cobblestone, and then maybe you have a big chest of gravel and maybe a big chest of sand, and you want to extend them out. That's perfect. Or for example, since we are on 1.14, you can always do barrels, right? Barrels are always an option now, which is cool because we didn't have them before. You can always stack them a little bit something different like that, and you can make them look different, or you could stack them all the same way. It really doesn't matter. It's not that important. But maybe over here we want to have some more barrel storage. I don't like just stacking my barrels just like a madman. I kind of like to have a little methodology to it. Like for example, we're going to take some stairs here, and we're going to put a stair and a stair. And now these are all barrels right here, keep in mind. And we're going to put a stair and a stair. And then in between them, maybe some spruce fence or oak fence. I'm going to choose to use spruce because it looks a little better. And have something like that for storing. Yes, you can compact them and make them like side by side. I understand, but I think it looks a little better when they have something there just in between them. Now in the middle of this floor, there's not much you can really do aside from adding a few crafting tables in the center of the room, which is like right here. I'm going to put a crafting table and a crafting table, and then we'll put in, for instance, like an anvil. Maybe you need to repair something up here. And then I'm not really sure what else. You can really put whatever you want here. Maybe you want an armor stand, I'm not sure. But again, that's something that you can use to fill a space in a room with. Really, it's whatever you want to do. But typically armor stands look pretty good. Something like that. And since we did this, it gives us an opportunity to plop one of these down. I don't like how there's two of those. So maybe we'll add, for instance, a grindstone, right? Or maybe, ooh, grindstone on the ceiling, like right here, and then a stone cutter on the floor. So that way we use all the 1.14 blocks, and it looks pretty cool, which is nice. But yeah, let me go ahead and fill in the rest of these item frames. For example, we'll have a leaf chest right here. We'll have a coal ore chest. See, I'm just grabbing random blocks now because that's what I do when I do this. I mean, I'm trying to think about survival stuff, but it's a little difficult because like when we want a seed chest, wheat chest, I don't know, maybe a armor chest. Again, I'm not really sure, but yeah. That's what I do for this build. If you guys enjoyed this and you want to see more tutorials from me, be sure to click that subscribe button so you're notified when I upload. I genuinely do hope you guys enjoyed this video. My night vision did wear off. I was going to say, where did my night vision go? But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around for the whole video if you chose to do so. If you did, then you probably enjoyed me a little bit, so you should probably click that subscribe button. I'm just saying. I'm kidding. You don't have to do that, but if you did genuinely enjoy me and you want to see more of me and live streams and Let's Plays, then be sure of Minecraft. All Minecraft. Nothing else just yet. But be sure to click that subscribe button so you're notified when I upload. If you're curious about the shader pack I may turn on for a second here, or my music or anything, it's all going to be down in the description below. Leave me a comment. I do see every single comment that you guys leave, and unfortunately I can't reply to every single one anymore for mental health reasons, just because it started degrading me. And not, I say degrade, but I think I more mean erode me, like it eroded at my mental state. I think that's the more proper terminology, not degrade, because that unfortunately is not the same word at all. I guess not unfortunately, but yeah. If you guys enjoyed this video, I really do hope you guys did. I think it looks pretty cool, pretty snazzy myself, but you know, I'm a little bit biased seeing as how I built it. But if you did enjoy it, be sure to do all those things I mentioned. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you either in a Let's Play or a tutorial next. I don't know. I have no idea yet. I don't have anything planned, just sort of taking it by the day. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye.